A doomsday for the senses. In a sunny clearing of the Indiana Dunes forest, Susan, a kind-faced teenager with long brown hair, knelt on the pine needle floor. She held a fragrant, damp piece of bark for two sixth-grade girls to smell. The Bible tells us that God gave us our sense of smell to enjoy the world He created, she said with a warm smile. The girls, with their colorful backpacks, leaned in, their noses twitching with curiosity. A little further down the trail, two boys from the group paused to look at a patch of wildflowers. One pointed to the vibrant petals. "Susan said even the flowers are a gift for our noses," he exclaimed to his friend, who was busy trying to identify the sweet scent wafting from the blossoms. The sandy path grew steeper as they began to climb the great dune. Susan walked alongside a girl who was catching her breath. "Think of every smell as a little message," Susan suggested. "The earthy smell of the sand, the fresh scent of the dune grass, it's all part of a bigger story." Two other girls reached a ridge on the dune, their faces bright with achievement. They stopped and took a deep breath. "I can smell the lake from here," one shouted, her voice carried on the breeze. The other girl closed her eyes, trying to separate the different scents in the air. As they neared the top, the vast expanse of Lake Michigan came into view. Susan stood with a boy, pointing towards the distant horizon. "The Bible talks about the fragrance of the knowledge of Him," she explained. "Just like the smell of the lake fills the air, God's presence is all around us." Two more students, a boy and a girl, finally summited the towering dune. They dropped their backpacks in the soft sand and stared in awe at the panoramic view. The wind whipped through their hair, carrying the clean, fresh scent of the water. "Wow," the boy whispered, "you can smell forever from up here." The group made their way along the trail to the bird observation platform, a tall wooden structure overlooking the trees in the lake. Susan and one of the girls climbed the final steps together. "From up here, we can see and smell even more of this amazing world," Susan said, her eyes sparkling. On the platform, two of the girls leaned against the railing, their gazes fixed on the faint outline of a city skyline across the water. "Is that really Chicago?" one asked, her voice full of wonder. The other girl squinted, trying to make out the tiny buildings. The last two boys joined them, their faces flushed with excitement from the hike. They peered through the binoculars on the platform, scanning the horizon. "I can see the big tall building," one of them announced, pointing a triumphant finger towards the city. Susan gathered all the students around her on the platform. The wind blew gently from the northwest, carrying with it a mix of scents from the lake and the land. She smiled at the eager faces before her and asked, "Who can smell Due's Pizza from Chicago just waft across Lake Michigan with the winds from the northwest?"